Alright, before I do my top 10 favorite games I played in 2021 list, I thought it would be fun to do a video here on my second channel where I tell you guys what I thought about every game I first played during my whole year. I won't spoil what will be on my top 10, and I'm going to talk about these games alphabetically, and since there are a lot of games I first played, I'll keep my explanations brief so it doesn't turn into a half-an-hour video. Please subscribe. And before that out of the way, let's jump right into it. A Bug's Life for PS1. I've had my fair share of fun with this game. The controls are good and the music is great. It's a really fun casual game. However, the level design is questionable and the bosses are easy. Among Us. This game was fun, though I got bored of it pretty quickly. It was really fun trying to find out who the imposter is, and most of the tasks are good. Hell, it's more fun when you're imposter. However, this game did lose its charm after a few matches, and I uninstalled the game and didn't touch it for months now. I'm more into watching people playing the game. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's pretty meh. I was so close to disliking it. The controls were great and I did enjoy the multiplayer and story, but however, the multiplayer collision detection is present with the bullets going through the walls. What the hell is that all about? And there are missions in the story that are annoying to say the least. Not a game I go back to on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Cars Made National. This game is a heckload of fun. All the different races, the overworld of Radiator Springs, Ornament Valley, and Tailfin Pass, and the cutscenes especially are something I would really like to rewatch again. Cool Shot. It's a boring pole game made by Phoenix Games. Need I say more? Crash Team Racing. After playing Nitro Kart when I was young, I was so missing out on this game, and it's so addicting. The controls are fantastic, the track design is superb, the items are fun to use, and the adventure mode is just so enjoyable. I love this game, though I lost my entire adventure mode save data due to save file corruption. Devil May Cry. Honestly, I couldn't get into this game. The controls and combat are stiff and janky, and the level design is so weird in my opinion. Sometimes I've had to look up guides so I know where the hell I'm going. The story and dialogue were also weird, and I couldn't get into Dante like I did in the other games. Devil May Cry 2. This game sucks. Most missions don't feel like missions, most areas look ugly, the characters and story are soulless, especially with Dante, and your guns are overpowered as well. They can juggle enemies and you don't need your sword for around 80% of the game. And with the double trigger, your bullets can literally destroy the boss's HP in nanoseconds. This game doesn't feel like a sequel, more so a tech demo for Devil May Cry 3. Speaking of which, Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. This game really rocks. This game is hard as hell, though it's never on the line of being unfair. The combat is so much fun, the bosses are great, puzzles are fantastic, the cutscenes where Dante stylizes in combat style are some of the best cutscenes in video game history, and the music, story, and characters, all are fantastic. This is a game I highly recommend for those who are looking for a challenge. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. I like this game. The combat is fantastic, the remix tracks are quite wondrous, the roster of characters are spectacular, and I all in all enjoyed this game. I only have the free version which doesn't have the campaign, but it doesn't matter. I can still enjoy this game even without the story. Doki Doki Literature Club. So addicting. I'm glad to be a part of this fanbase for a psychological horror dating sim game. I've started playing this game just before Doki Doki Literature Club Plus released, which I will give a try in 2022, and I must say I enjoyed every part of it. The music's one of the best in gaming history, the game actually scared me and at times gave me nightmares, thank you for that Monica and Yuri, and every character is just so relatable. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monica are a fantastic lineup of girls for the main character and I wouldn't have it any other way. Doom 3. It's pretty meh. The graphics are nice and the controls are good, but the lighting is and I ended up getting lost from time to time. But maybe that's just a me problem, but either way the game is kinda boring. Friday Night Funkin'. This game is fun, though I wouldn't call it addicting. After the first week, the songs afterwards get progressively faster, but you'll make plenty of arrow key misses, and your reaction timing will be next to none. I still enjoy the game, but the game became so brutal that I stayed away from it for months. There's a difference between hard and fun and hard and unfair. Genshin Impact. Such a beautiful game I was missing out on when this game first released. The beautiful world of Teyvat with a wide roster of so many likable and fun characters, waifus especially, and the music is again one of the best in gaming history. However, some enemies get really annoying and the bosses are very annoying when playing on a PC version on a mouse and keyboard, which is what I play on, but still a masterpiece of a game nonetheless. Infamous. So much fun. A classmate of mine let me borrow this game and I must thank him. This game reminds me of Sly Cooper. Of course that's because they're made by the same company. The controls are fantastic, combat is awesome, most of the missions are fun, the story is dark yet incredible, and the good or evil choices that you make. Holy crap, so much fun. However, when it comes to the city scouting missions, that's where I draw the line. Screw those missions. Jet Set Radio. Very funky and truly a timeless classic. Music's funky as hell, the characters are fun, the graphics is some of the best I've seen in gaming history, and the gameplay is fun. Reminds me of old style PS2 GTA games, but your areas are even more limited. Jump Force. I like this game more than most people, but there are parts I really hate. Mainly that all the characters' special attacks are overpowered, meaning they're spammable as hell and it gets annoying very quickly. Seriously, if you give a player too much power, they will abuse it. Though the combat is alright, and the intro to this game is really good, so at least that's something. Kingdom Hearts. A beautiful masterpiece. I love the fact of a Disney and Final Fantasy crossover with original characters. The game's combat system is amazing. The bosses may be difficult, though not unfair. The story may be confusing, but not if you understand the lore very closely. And just going through all the different worlds is just so nostalgic. Music's fantastic too. Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. This game is, honest to God, a big guilty pleasure to me. I'll admit that the worlds are a huge step down because they don't feel like worlds, and the worlds that were chosen are 95% straight from Kingdom Hearts, with Twilight Town from Kingdom Hearts 2. And the story is slightly a step down from the original game too, but the combat is fantastic and I actually love the gimmick of using cards. It's easily my favorite gimmick in video game history, more so than the Werehog from Sonic Unleashed. Mass Effect 2. A fun shooter with an interesting story. I also love the implication of a choice system that makes it feel like a Telltale game, and the characters are so interesting and mostly likable. I'm not into third-person shooters, so this game surprised me. Truly a game worth your time. Metal Gear Solid. This game is really good. The game that started the Solid Saga and to this day still isn't outdated. The gameplay is fun, the story is still one of the best, and the villain unit team Foxhound each are interesting members. I truly highly recommend this game. This game is a timeless classic. Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. A lot of people love this game. I do too, although I love it slightly less than most people. I mean, I feel like Raiden's an amazing protagonist, the level design is fantastic, combat's great, and so is the story, but there are many missions that are just so annoying that sometimes I feel like I can't love it more than I already do. But not too much to make it a love-hate relationship to me with this game, because I still do think it's worth it. Nights into Dreams. This game is casually fun. The music just feels so Sega that it is amazing, and the levels themselves are really fun. But most of the nightmare levels after the dream levels are tedious as all hell, rendering me from liking this game more. But I will admit that Nights is a franchise that does deserve a comeback alongside Sega's other timeless classics. Persona 4 Golden. Simply fantastic. The battle system, the dungeons, the free time, the music, the characters, social links, there is barely anything in this game I don't like. Simply put, a golden game. Persona 5. Everything that is said about P4 can be said here, but the palaces in this game make them feel like actual levels unlike P3 and P4, and a lot of people complain about the length of the game, which has become a meme, but I personally feel like that my 83 hours of this game was all worth it. Ratchet and Clank. This game is the very first game I first played in 2021, and I think it was a fantastic way to start off the year. The environment, weapons, music, everything is fantastic. It's literally the only game in my trilogy that actually makes me feel like a kid again. Ratchet and Clank 2. From the moment I played through the first level, I was hooked on instantly. Many things that made the original game great are somewhat better, if not even more better. Truly a marvel of the time. Ratchet and Clank 3. I did not like this game that much when I initially started playing. The game was strange to me at first and the starting weapon choices felt off to me, but the more hours I put into this game, the more I grew to love it, and it grew on me amazingly. Rayman. I hate this game so much. I love the music and the environment, sure, but the gameplay is absolutely freaking punishing. Remember when I said when talking about Friday Night Funkin' that there's a difference between hard and fun and hard and unfair? Well, this game is so unfair beyond belief. Your reaction timing needs to be on point to beat the levels, and not to mention that the levels themselves are long. Rayman 2: The Great Escape. What an absolute shocker of a game. Truth be told, I didn't believe I'd love this game so much. The platforming, level design, bosses, and story. This to me is how you improve from your previous game. At times the game may be easy, but the challenge is just the right amount of fun and, well, challenge. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. This game is beautiful. While it's another one of those brutally hard games, I never rage at the game because I know that your moves need to be corrected in order to beat this game. The challenge is brutal, but it isn't unfair, and the save point placements are corrected too. Simply incredible. Super Mario Galaxy, I was so missing out. Galaxy is without question one of the most gorgeous games I've ever played in my life. The music, the levels, the story, the platforming, and the common observatory. While this game is on the easy side, in no way would that ever stop me from loving this game. Super Mario Sunshine. I know a lot of people love this game, but I'm sorry, I don't like Sunshine at all. I'll admit that the graphics and music are some of the best in Mario history, but the story is stupid, the piantas are idiots, and don't get me started on the gameplay. With the game being hard, while not unfair, it's annoyingly hard, like extremely. And that is also with the controls, which are stiff with the flood jetpack, and the controls being slippery at times too. Syberia. It's a beautiful game with a mysterious environment and premise, though unfortunately it's not my kind of game. The puzzles are good and some of the characters are interesting, but like I said, it's not the kind of game I would play. But I will give Syberia 2 a chance when I get around to it. And the only reason why I bought this in the first place was because it was 90% off from the Nintendo eShop on Switch. Tales of Xillia, one of the most fun RPGs I've ever played. I've played through both Jude and Mila's sides of the story, and I can say that this game is just absolutely marvelous. The unique gameplay, the story, the characters, the levels and towns, and even the music. I can't wait for the next Tales game I can play. The Impossible Game. I don't really like this game. I know the main premise of the game is that it's meant to be difficult as hell, but at least with other hard games I play, I can predict what's coming next so I can anticipate the next move. Here, I can't say I completely dislike the game since at times I do have fun with it, but it is still annoying at times. I respect the main purpose that the developers are gone for though. The Walking Dead, a tragic masterpiece. Granted, I've only played through the first episode, but I still had so much fun. It taught me that the characters act like real people, in which case in their world they are, and every character is super relatable and most super lovable. That you never know when or how each character will die, and some deaths will be on your hands by the choices you make. I really love that, and it brings more emotion. Can't wait till I play the rest of this game. Tomb Raider. I've played very little, so I can't say much, but it's a pretty okay game so far. The controls are weird, though that's because I play this game while using a keyboard. Tomb Raider Underworld. Only very little, but I like it. I prefer the story in this game, and the graphics are some of the best, if not the best I've seen for a Tomb Raider game. And finally, Toy Story Racer. This game is surprisingly good for a licensed game and a Mario Kart clone for the PS1. While the controls are weird at times, I still enjoy the racing mechanics and the different minigames that you play as well. Like the battle mode for Mario Kart, except mandatory. Sounds like a bad concept, but you need more than just racing to prevent your kart racer from being boring. And that's all the games I first played in 2021. What are the games you first played in 2021? And are there any games that I stated my opinion on that you disagree with? Let me know in the comments below. I will read them. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. I'm on my road to 100 subs, so I will be happy if you consider subscribing. And ring that notification bell to get notified about my latest videos. See you all next time.